Hey guys, Tasha, Sage Academy here. All right, got one more video for you. This one's going to be about 10 minutes, so make sure that you make some time for it. This one has some safety conversations, so just make sure I can have your undivided attention for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to talk specifically to the Spark families in this video, and then do a separate video for Discovery family. So if you're a Discovery family, head out to our YouTube and find the Discovery video on this. This particular video is going to cover our new traffic protocol that we're putting into place. This is your handbook. I'm going to send this out to you soon. But I wanted to go through a couple of procedures specific to the new traffic flow that we're going to implement. This will be a campus-wide implementation. So it's important that everybody understand what the new flow is so that everything flows smoothly. So here's some key points. Basically, we're going to reverse the traffic flow. You're going to now enter through the north and exit through the south. We're going to go to what we're going to call a double stack queue line. So basically 2 lanes of traffic coming in to the property. We're going to use a term called the active 6. The active 6 will be the active loading or unloading in the loading zone, and that'll be three vehicles from each line. And then we're going to continue to use the church as an overflow. We're just going to change a little bit of the language around it and call it on deck. There's going to be an on deck queue over there. And I'll show you with the visual what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to pause here, and before I go through the details here, I'm going to go through the visual, and I'm going to first tell you some whys on why we're changing it. So one of the biggest reasons we are changing it is there's 2 big deciding factors here. One, we have had a traffic study done through Texas DOT, Department of Transportation, and they have given us their recommendations. We have also consulted with our engineer, and they have also agreed that reversing the traffic flow and going to a double stack would be the best course of action for us as we grow here on at Sage Academy on the property. But our big concern is traffic coming from south, from the Acton side. You guys, right outside this map area here is a curve that you can't see here. But once you have 2 or 3 cars in line here, I've been that person, and it's a nail-biting experience. And I've seen many cars have to go onto the shoulder and around our people here. So we're reversing it for that. That's one of the main reasons. This will give a little extra buffer, a little bit more reaction time for cars that are waiting to turn left, waiting for traffic to clear to turn left. And so that's going to put us entering in the north and exiting to the south. We are going to ask that you do a right-hand turn leaving the property. Our internal traffic studies tell us that it's about a 60-40, 60% of you go right, 40% of you go left. I'm part of that 40%. I live to the left, so it will be an inconvenience. I will say that if it's not a high traffic, if the cars are not lined up like this and it's not high traffic, and you're one of the last ones and it's safe, go ahead and turn left. But if we're active and we're full and we're moving, we're going to ask that you guys turn right. From a broader perspective, things that you can't see right now but are coming in the pipeline, behind our property here on this southwest side, there's a neighborhood going in called Legacy Ranch. Legacy Ranch is going to drop about, I don't know, 100 or so homes behind us. They're gonna connect all the way to Saratoga. So there is also a potential of a road coming in here. And if Legacy Ranch, they're one of the largest developers in the Fort Worth area, if they get the approval to put this road in here, we might be forced to turn right just by Texas DOT and the traffic flow scenarios that will surround us at that point. So, um, guess you can say we're kind of prepping for that, even though it's not concrete information that that's going to happen. But again, we have been in conversations with DOT, and that is being discussed. Um, okay, so let's get to the practicality of the that's the why, and let's move to how it's going to work, right? So these six cars will represent the active six, and the red cars are obviously the non-active cars. So if you're in a red car, you're just sitting and waiting for your turn. If you're in the green car, then you're actively unloading and loading your learners. Since we've moved to the geofencing check-in, theoretically, in this hypothetical situation that we're going to walk through, let's say the doors are closed, they haven't opened yet. You're sitting in your car, you're checking in or checking out your children from your car. The doors open, signaling that it's time. You walk in with your cell phone, you walk to your studio, you do your digital handshake, and if you don't know what that means, then go to our other video that discussed the geofencing checking in and out procedures, and you'll learn more about that. You give your digital handshake, you take your learners, and then you are going to get them fully strapped in this parked zone. Historically, we've pulled forward and finished loading them there. We're going to ask that you fully get them loaded here. If you need more time, then you have these parking spots. Instead of pulling here, we're going to ask that you pull in a parking spot to finish loading your children. And by reversing the traffic flow, we have more spots. And you can even pull in the grass here. Let's say, let's say all six families in the loading zone are our sibling families. And, some of you have three or four kids with you and you just need more time. That's fine. You can load them in and then pull into one of the parking spots. And let's say you need to use the grass area. Go ahead and use the grass area if needed. But that frees up the driveway for traffic to continue to flow. So everyone's loaded, everyone's pulling forward. We're going to ask, when you pull forward, we're going to ask that you, obviously we're going to need visibility around your vehicles, but pull forward in pairs. Because if the person next to you is ready and you're ready, then you're safe. You know you're safe to pull forward. Same thing with the second pair, pull forward whenever you're both ready, so on and so forth. This would just be another line of defense, a safety protocol measure put in place so that so that we're all have an awareness of what's going on around us. Once these active six have pulled through, then the next six will pull forward. Let me show you what this is going to look like. Excuse me. Let me show you what this is going to look like over here across the street. So in the afternoon times, our pickups for Spark and for Discovery are pretty close together with only a 5-minute gap. So what will happen here, you'll see more cars over here with you because we're going to line Discovery up out here. We're going to position them off to the side in an on-cue deck, while this would be Spark in the red continuing to do your drop-off, your pickup scenario. And then there'll be a time where Discovery, and if that's in the afternoon time, then Discovery at 3:10, they get the green light to pull forward into the loading zone. So if you're on deck, there will be a time that gives you your cue that you're allowed to pull on deck or pull into the loading zones. All right, so let's discuss that. That should be pretty not self-explanatory, but hopefully I was clear there. If you need to rewind it and go through it again, go ahead and do so. I think I've covered it all there. But let's go through the details, the nuts and bolts of it. So let's look at morning drop off, right? So in the morning, the Discovery Studio, they drop off from 7:45 to 8:10. Now in the Discovery Studio, there's a hard line at 8:10. We go inside the building. Our discovery families know that if they are after 8:10, then they have to wait till our next transition time, which is 8:45, and then they'll drop off later. And that would actually put them in the Spark queue, and that'll be something that a discovery family has to deal with. But um, there's quite a gap from 8:10 before your doors open at Spark at 8:30. So your time that you're allowed to start filling the queue will be 8:15. So 8:15 in the morning, Spark is allowed to start filling the queue line. All of our discovery families will have gone by then. So 8:15, you're filling the queue line. You're checking in your learners. As we learned on the previous video, you also have the opportunity to communicate any needs for your learner for the day through the digital app. You're doing all that while you're waiting for the doors to open. Doors open at 8:30 to 8:50. And then again, we go into an active unloading zone here. So the doors open, 6 families get out of their car. They're already checked in, so they're able to focus on safety. You go to your studio, you do your digital handshake, and then parents are leaving the building without any children. That is pretty safe. No kids running around in that scenario. And then the active 6 pull out, and the next 6 pull forward. So dropping off the drop off scenario should move fairly quickly. And then let's reverse it. Let's look at the afternoon pickups. So the afternoon pickups, like I said, it reverses itself. So Spark lets out first. So the time frame for Spark is going to be 2:45 to 3:05. And then at 3:10, Discovery gets the green light to go ahead and start filling the queue line. So what does that look like? Well, Spark, you guys start to show up as early as you guys typically show up. It doesn't affect how your arrival time because you're first. You start to fill your queue line. And while you're sitting there waiting for the doors to open, you're checking your learners out on the app using the geofencing protocol. And you're bringing your phone in, the doors open, you bring your phone in, you give your digital handshake, which is the verification process, and then you take your learners out to the car. Now, like I mentioned earlier, what's going to happen here is we're going to ask you to fully load your learners here. And no longer pull forward off to the side. If you need to pull forward, you're going to park into a parking spot. If the spots are full, you're welcome to park in the grass to continue to load your learners there. Highlighting, we want you to pull forward in pairs. So the first 2 will go, second 2 will go, last 2 will go. And then the next 6 will repeat the process, so on and so forth. I felt like there was something I was going to say, but I lost it. So anyway, so you're going to pull forward, and then you're going to exit right. If it's during peak times, you're going to exit right instead of left. And that is it. That's the new traffic flow and car queuing protocol. If you have any questions, I will be out here for the first week or 2 trying to direct traffic, trying to make sure everybody's on board. So if you have family picking up for you guys, you're going to need to send them, you're going to need to, so if it's someone who picks up frequently, you're going to go ahead and add them as a parent, except it's going to give you, you can select grandparent, aunt, uncle, or whatever. And the system will assign them a code, and then they can download the app. So if you need help inviting someone to the app, we can help on our side, but you can do so on your side as well. Once you invite them to the app, then they will be able to use the geofencing checking in and out process that we've mentioned before. In the rare circumstances, we don't want to open this door too wide for too many people because then it might just dilute the whole system. But in the rare circumstances that grandma picks up, and she picks up twice a year, you can put her in, give her her own code, and then she can use the kiosk whenever they come inside. Um, so that is an option. We are hoping that that's minimal option. So again, so if everyone's doing it, then we're just back to square one on it. But anyway, so that's the new traffic flow protocol, guys. If you have any questions, of course you can reach out to me. And I will be out in the parking lot. If I walk up to your car to chit chat with you, I'm just checking on you, making sure you don't have any questions or any concerns or anything like that. My inbox is always open. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to reach out to me. All right, guys, have a great day.